familiar with YouTube, you already know Big Flacco from a conference perspective. You already know what time it is, coming directly from the Pima County Jail, unfortunately. Still send my salutes and respects over there, and I'm still going to smash, dash, slide on through with a whole lot of energy. So please hit the like, subscribe, comment, do all those things to help support your boy, and hit that bell notification for future fire content. So, truth be told, like I told you guys before, I was going to eventually get to my story about how all this legal stuff happened. The initial charges from June 9th, 2023. As you guys remember, everybody was broadcasting all kinds of different speculations and rumors and false information on the majority of everything that people were speaking on. And it's, when you got a crime that's still in the moment and you don't have any details, and it's a news story, you really don't have much information to go on or speculate. And everybody talking about that they had the source of this information and the source of that information. Well, I'm the source for what really happened, and I'm going to tell the truth. Everything that happened. Okay, first and foremost, I got to sit there and say this. There's a disclaimer. I don't advocate or promote any type of violence towards anybody. I do advocate and promote that you have the right to stand your ground anytime, anywhere, when it comes to your safety, your family's safety. And I'll say that for the rest of my term, no matter what. So, but when it comes to any type of violence, supporting gang activity or drugs or what like that, no, I'm not going to sit there and promote none of that. I don't want anything that I've ever done, past, present, or future. I don't want people to look at that and define the life that they may want to live. I'm here to tell you guys that the life is not the life to live, and there's consequences to it, and we have to be willing to accept those consequences if we live that life, okay? Even if we're trying to sit there and do the best to help others, it's hard to serve two masters, And that's where this story starts off, as I started to fall off, during 2023. And previously there was a lot of false information about what I was doing or what I wasn't doing, and it really didn't get real till 2023, right around before the case. It was really getting real for me at that time, right? And I was bored. I'm saying I didn't know anybody. I was having relationship issues. I was on my own, and what happens when you start not to follow the things that you follow? You go back to the things that you know, right? And eventually, living life the way with my verbal skills and with my presence and the way I know how to wiggle, I get shit done. I make shit happen, and that attracts a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? It gravitates towards people because I'm about my money. I always still try to help people, and that's what happened here, is me being the person that always still likes to help people and take the shirt off their back when people need it. And I've done that for a lot of people. I've done that for people on YouTube. I've done that for people in the world. And I don't judge if you have an addiction, if you're sober, if you have past issues. I don't care. If you associate with me and you be yourself, I'm going to be there to help you. Okay? Now, this story starts because, I met this person before I went to Tampa Bay for the movie, I went to Tampa Bay. And I needed some gear, and someone plugged me in that this person gets good gear, So he did. He got a whole bunch of good stuff that I needed, and I paid him what he wanted for it, right? And had a little rapport with him a little bit, and talked to him. And about 2-3 months later, he calls me, and then he connects me with some other people that I already knew out there in Hollywood. So I come through, right, and whatever we're doing, right, and he tells me that he needs a place to stay in the process, right? And I kind of wasn't taking it serious because people always say they need a place to stay, and then they, But he was trying to help me on some things that puts money in my pocket. You know what I'm saying? So eventually one night he sent me a message like really depressed, right? And I told him that, what happened with that. He's called me a couple times, and I think he did call me, and I was busy, and I forwarded his call. So finally he got a hold of me one morning talking about, man, I've been on the streets for a couple of days. Can you help me? I can get some money. And I'm like, you know what? I really didn't want to bring anybody in, but I will. You know what I'm saying? I said, I'll help you out. I know that your lady is close to my cousin's wife, so yeah. So I went and picked him up, picked all the stuff up, what little he had, right, and he paid me some money. And I told him, this is the rules, I'm not going to be your chauffeur, right? You got to find your own shit to go do. I got my own stuff. I got my YouTube. I got other things I do to generate money and make my way. You're here because you need a place to stay. I don't really want any company unless it's your lady. Just don't bring random people here. Don't do none of that stuff. All the stuff that adds, a home when you're renting something out to someone you tend to do. Now, of course, with someone that has a fentanyl addiction, he had problems with the rules with him. Like I said, he was only my roommate for 5 days. That's it. And I even tried to go out of my way to help him, right? And one of my assets, right, that I had that used to do things for me, like as far as go collect some money for me, or whatever, right? I plug him in, which is, hopefully get right so he can do whatever his boosting here and there, right? And one time, just to give his old lady who was in a federal program, right? Federal, when you get out of federal prison, you go into these pre-release houses, right? And in fact, I was trying to help him out with some of the things that they were going through, like, he was smoking blues right in front of her, and I'm like, bro, she's sober, bro. Don't be doing that to someone that's over there trying to do positive, and so he acknowledged it, but I think he got frustrated because I'm telling him what he shouldn't do. But hey, you're in my household. You're over there fucking using drugs in front of your baby mama, knowing that she's in a program. That's a no-no. So then I had my asset give him a ride, and after, to drop her off, and so then he's with her afterwards, and next thing you know, he takes off all over the place, right? And I'm like, okay, cool. I go, but bro, don't be bringing anybody over just because I told this is someone that's taking care of business for me, and sometimes they want to come over too much. No, I tried to help them. She had just gone through a breakup with her girlfriend. You know what I'm saying? Her girlfriend tried to kill herself and stuff. So I tried to help this person that used to help out with collecting money and doing things for me. And that fashion, right? I go, you're stepping on toes, and he got all upset and stuff about that, right? And I'm like, whatever. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to let it go. And he even kind of didn't go with what I said when I said I didn't want people over, and she even knew the reasons why. And you know what I'm saying? But he was, trying to juggle the situation and do what he wanted. Like, he paid rent, that he could be there. No, you paid rent. Other people didn't pay rent. I got a lot of stuff going on over here. A lot of it's not legal, and I don't need any of this bullshit going on, And come to find out that this is going on, my asset that he got a ride for like 2 days, he had a falling out with that person, and I didn't realize that the person that I previously met him with, that's from Barrio Hollywood, right? I mean, that person had a big kind of a rapport, that's one of the main hoods, that's one of the main barrios that does a lot of work for their big homies, in this state. But I had a good rapport with a few of them, but it was very limited, right? He was trying to get me involved kind of like in his battle that he had with them, and I'm too smart for that, bro. Like, just because someone just questions or doesn't like certain things, they're not talking shit. You two had a little fall, and you're talking shit about him to me. It doesn't mean that's my fellow, and don't try to bring it into me because of certain comments, because those comments that were made are not nothing bad. A person can feel and do what business they want to with whoever they want, and I checked him on that, and I think that I can see that the things that he was being upset about were the same things that he was, the same things he was getting, that he got kicked out with the last person is the same thing I'm seeing. Except for here, he at least pays some money. But, I'm not going to trip off it. Then I come from two different people, right? From the one asset and then from another friend that knows him, right? That, you get these YouTube trolls and you get these YouTubers or a lot of it was troll stuff that just try to talk shit and try to expose this and trying to, make you look like you're something, right? So in his head, he's thinking I'm some type of winning because you get these trolls that just fucking say anything about you, or people that say anything about you, but what people forget is, man, they're not. Like, most of those people, are hidden characters, right? That are never going to expose themselves. So it's a lost cause trying to fight that. They're going to say whatever they want about you. And on the other half, I mean, they're talking from about 1,500 miles away with the safety of their computer. They're not talking shit about you face to face. So what they have to say is kind of irrelevant, You know what I'm saying? With my back history, everybody knows that I don't play. I don't bow down to nobody. You know what I'm saying? Even if I try to push a positive attitude, I'm not on no weenie status. I'm trying to be a better man. But, if you try to push me in a corner in a situation, you're going to find out where that beast can come out real quick. And I carry myself that here, I carry myself like that out there, and I still try to push a positive message. But I'm not going to be fake if you try to go there with me, that I'm going to be fake about it. I'll meet you with full energy and then some. And that goes anywhere. That's the kind of mode, especially now, I got to do a lot of time. Not a lot of time, but a little time. I got to be ready for game time, It's time to go. Anywhere, anytime, whatever. And I live my life like that. And the only thing that I thought myself is, in using drugs, I started to forget the certain things, drinking and drugs and all that, and open myself up to certain people that know that I wouldn't, but I was just trying to help people out. That was what I was always trying to do for like the last 7 years, was I was so used to helping other people, other addicts, And here I am trying to help by giving someone a place to stay, but there's a lot of dirtbags out there in this world, guys, that don't give a fuck about you or your family. You know what I'm saying? You know, you can come bring them in your house, they'll eat all your food right in front of you, serve them, and then they're stealing your shit and they're going out the back door. That's how society is nowadays, and that's how people are. So this guy has a built-up mentality, like he said, you know, like you know, he'll have to check me and this and that, and I see some of the messages because, you know, the assets that I had. And when I say assets, I said someone that was a part of business operations that I had going on. Showed me some of the texts, right? It's from him. I'm seeing him talking shit, and I'm like, okay, you know, I'm like, no, if the person's not going to tell me, I'm like, I can't take him serious. You know what I'm saying? It's a joke. I saw that woo-wash thing. I mean, until they bring it to him, then they bring it. You know, but I'd already had an understanding, you know. Same thing happened when I left him straight at the casino. I'm not your ride. If you're not ready to go, I'm gone. If you're not answering your phone, that's on you. You know, because I helped him out, get rid of some of the stuff, the clothes and stuff that he had to one of my boys. And he forcibly wanted to go to the casino, and I got things to do. If you're not ready to go when I'm ready to go and I answer your phone, I'm gone. And I'm not going to come back to pick you up. That's on you. And that happened the day before, you know. And so I think, you know, he had a little attitude, you know. And, you know, there was another time, you know, a homeboy from Coachella came by, right? Daniel, Southside of Cali, you know, that I talked to all the time, and he's come by the pad, and, you know, good dude, take care of his kid and all that. You know, and this dude told me that, you know, that lived in Casper, right? He's from AZ, so it's kind of confusing how that works, guys, because they're not the same as Cali Sudeos. If they are, they're just basically say that. Cause I don't know, you know. But, you know, I asked to grab a chair, and he felt like, I guess I was, like, punking him. I didn't know that, but someone else told me, like, his eyes changed and stuff. And everybody's like, man, you know, this dude's all over the place. He's going to bring you attention, everybody's telling me. And I'm like, nah, you know, I'm just trying to help him out, you know. And so he brought over this friend, right, you know, and you know, chick that's been out of state. She lived in Laramore before. She lived in Arkansas, and, you know, she was a big, heavy girl. You know what I'm saying? That's nothing that I would even be attracted in or anything, right? And, you know, I knew that he was, you know, he was trying to, this is one of those dudes that was always trying to chase girls but never chase money. You know what I'm saying? Always broke, didn't have no money, but always trying to chase after the next hoe. You know what I'm saying? When I'm out there and I'm on my game, I'm all about money. All that doesn't mean shit to me. You know what I'm saying? And you gotta remember at the time, I'm still trying to do all I can to, I wanted to be with my life, you know? I wanted to fix it. I didn't like the things I was doing. I wanted to step away from it, man. I wanted her to come home. I wanted my family back, you know? But, and you know, I dug myself into that hole. And, you know, I'm watching, right? And I forgot there was something about the situation about one of my assets, and the homegirl says, yeah, you're wrong for doing that, she told him, right? And he's like, yeah, and I'm like, that was the day before. And I'm like, yeah, but I'm cool. It doesn't bother me. The next day, though, you know, I'm going through some struggles at the time, man. Like, I made a lot, you know, a lot of money wasn't coming in like it should have, you know, that I had to do certain things, you know, and you know, people could see the stress. I was trying to help a lot of people out, you know. I had my other home, only one person that was staying there with me, and he just got locked up, and that's the reasons why he moved in was my boy just got hemmed up, and he used to run foils. He's a Crip native, right, from South Tucson, right? Southside Tucson, not South Tucson, there's a difference. And Jim and his lady kind of partner, right? And she was ex-correctional officer. She's a native, though. She's from the TO reservation. They got busted. You know what I'm saying? And that at that time, that was like, man, all of the bills that were being paid and all that stuff, it was basically me and him. And we had a lot of bills going on in the house, you know? And so what boils on, they're the ones that bring people that have already crossed the border. Basically, they drive all the way to Phoenix, and from there, you know, they get to going to wherever they're going to go. Washington, D.C., California, Texas, Baltimore, wherever they're going, you know. So he was a foil runner, and he got busted, and, you know, he just did his time. In the event of all this, he just barely got out. Shouts out to my boy, if he's listening, you know. So that was a big issue why I let this dude move in. You know what I'm saying? And at that time, I got more other things going on in my mind, man, you know, because I even, you know, sent my wife, I remember, email that night randomly because we weren't talking at that time at all. And it was, you know, it was really bad, you know, and I just was like lost, you know. And as this dude starts to bring some issues up as far as about something, right? And you know, there's a person out there that's done a lot for me. And, you know, they're doing 10 years. I'm not going to mention their names. You know, they helped me out in so many different ways, and they were a real one, right? And with the shit, right? That. You know, he was acting like he could do some things better, right? And I'm like, bro, then where's the guy? You know what I'm saying? You got nothing. You're broke. You're just talking out your fucking ass. He took offense to that. felt I was belittling him. I go, no, I'm not belittling you, bro. You're taking it wrong. I'm just saying, if you got it like that, then go do what you're saying you're doing. You know, and it was being blunt about it. And I said, all right, whatever. And he kept on pushing it. And finally, I'm like, look, ask your homeboy. You're pushing an issue that doesn't need to be pushed. If you feel that way, it's hard. You know, and it just kind of kept on going at it. And I'm like, bro, you don't want to go. I go, you really want to go there, bro? You really want to go there? I'm looking at him. You know, do you really want to go there with me? And he was kind of like in between, like, you know, I'm like, okay, because we could just move past all this right now. And I thought we had moved all past this, right? But he opened up the door because he couldn't let go that he thought that I was belittling him. Now, you guys remember, pretty much before I almost got shot, right? I got ran up on in a place where I thought I was safe. My boyfriend at the time had fell through the side of the seats by the center console, right in the middle, right? And I had a gun at my face through a window. Within 5-6 runs, I went to grab to pull it out and slipped there, got stuck, and next you know, I'm wrestling someone through a window that's trying to shoot me. And I know you guys, I think Gunner did a video about it. I did a brief one, then took it down. All true story though. You guys remember, Savage Steels got killed 3 days after I interviewed him. You know, living any type of life or whatever, we get a lot of attention. And whether we're doing illegal things or even legal things, right? Because the majority of the last 10 years of my life has been legitimate things because I did not want to, that life just basically came out of boredom almost and just came out of not having anybody there, you know. I was doing everything, I didn't have a foundation, I wasn't doing meetings and, you know, I didn't have nobody. There was no one there, you know, and, you know, as people, it's hard to do things alone, you know. I didn't have really even my kids there or anybody, you know. I went from raising my kids to now like, fuck, man, like, okay. It was to me, a lot of it was like, fuck, you know. I'm trying to do the right things, but people keep on jumping ship, and I keep on being abandoned, you know, and I'm trying to be the good guy. It led me down that dark road, you know, and now I'm dealing with someone that, I'm back to mindset, you know, like, Flaco's always going to be Flaco. If you want it, you can get it. You know what I'm saying? I'm taking any way you want. I'm not taking any losses in any situation. I don't want to be that person, but I'll always be that person the rest of my life, no matter what, okay? I don't want people to think like that. I don't encourage people to think like that. It's the wrong way to think, but that's me, okay? This person pretty much jumped up and said, I don't give a fuck how big you are. I'm in a chair sitting in the corner. I'm not going to hesitate. What's one thing that we're taught our whole life, especially as youngsters that go to prison? When everybody poses a threat, take flight. Now, I mind you, I'm in a state of Arizona, which is a stand-your-own state, okay? Especially in your own home. Just because I'm an ex-felon, just because I'm technically not supposed to have a gun, does not mean that I can't stand down any situation. They're going to get me for having a gun afterwards. There's been people in here that have caught murder cases in similar cases where it's a stand their ground state. They have the right to do it. They just end up getting 2-3 years. They kill someone, they get 2-3 years because they shouldn't have the gun. But you can really stand your ground. And that's what this situation is. He grabbed something when he jumped up. I don't know. I'm to the point. I'm not going to ask. I'm just going to put you right there on the spot. Put them on the spot. And in the process, you know, I really became the real bit of the kid, you know, because it basically was a ricochet shot. I shot him and it ricocheted through him and hit her in the thigh. Had no intentions of shooting her. Didn't fire off no multiple shots. My whole reason was to shoot him, to put him in his place, and to disarm him from thinking he's going to try to do something to me. That's the only reason why I plucked him. You know, they talk about, he told me that he went to call 911 and that I put a gun to his head, right? All I know is I wasn't going to call anybody. I don't know who you're going to call. Yeah, no, you ain't calling fucking nobody. You know what I'm saying? And I told him, I told you, bro, I'm not with the bullshit. Bro, I'm with the shit, motherfucker. And he was crying, screaming, trying to apologize, and crying. I'm like, get this little bitch out of here, right? I told her, because she's shot, but she can move. I tell his friend, get this motherfucker the fuck out of here, right? And now I'm processing things. I had my homeboy's niece, right? And his niece's girlfriend, they're a lesbian couple in the house, and they have the daughter there. I'm like, fuck, man, I can't. I'm like, this dude may call the cops. And you know what? The truth is, I would have never got caught. This wasn't like a shooting spree of me shooting hell at people. This was a random act of putting someone down that caused a threat. You know what I'm saying? Apparently, you know, he had to have surgery on his private area and all kinds of shit. And I think what I'm told was that was part of the reasons why he pushed such an agenda to testify, right? So I go take off, and I remember I made a phone call. I called one person, man. I just fucking was shocked at everything that happened. And someone that I was talking to, they're on YouTube. They're not on YouTube, but they know who they are. I'll just say that. They know who they are. Told what happened and shit. And I'm trying to get a ride. And, I got a ride. And as I'm coming back, we drive by and we see the cops getting ready to go do a search. So this is like an hour and a half after the shooting. So I had them in there. I made a call because previously before I had thrown the thing that I needed to get out of there quick. I went back to get everything, including the strap. Went back, got the strap, got everything else that needed to be out of there, and got away. All that talk that I took the chip out my phone, okay, and gave someone else the phone and someone else the chip, okay. They did put a fucking GPS on my phone. They couldn't find it. They came back and put a GPS on my car. Okay, they were watching my house. When they did the search warrant, they fucking busted the windows and they sent in a robot and a drone to see if I was in there. Okay, so they were wasting all that time there. I'm already on the south side of Tucson in a safe spot, just chilling. Okay, so as I got there, no one really knew where I went except for a very select few. That day, I go to sleep and the homeboy comes back and he goes, "Fuck." He goes, "Yep." Because first there was a report of an incident. Then there was a report that they were looking for me. Now, this person I'm talking about, the same one I talked about earlier that's doing 10 years now. He was on the run. He'd been on the run for 7 years, lost in trial, been on the run. And I'm like, man, this is my shit. You know what I'm saying? I go, I'm not gonna put you in a situation. I'll go turn myself in. But I'm not gonna say nothing. He said, nah, let's get you talking to a lawyer first. So he gave me $1,000, and then I get picked up. His wife gives me a ride, and then takes me over there. She goes in there with me to the attorney. We give the $1,000 to the attorney. I tell the attorney everything that happened. He finds out, yeah, there's a warrant for you. Let me wait to get grounds to surrender. Then they asked me, can you make it today? And I'm like, nah. I got some things I got to clear before we can do it. He goes, I can't do tomorrow. We'll set it up for Monday. So my attorney did what he was supposed to do. He set it up for Monday. And what the response was, okay, we're not going to go looking for you, but if we find you, we find you. That was the attitude that they said. So I'm in the car and I'm going back to the spot. I'm hiding. I'm ducked down because I don't want to be seen because my name's all over the news, right? And all the news in town. So I get back and then I wait a couple days, 3 days. I got my phone back on that day. And the thing is, they would have tracked me with my phone. They tried to track me. They got my paperwork shows that they had different locations, and I did everything that you're supposed to do. All that rumors and stuff that people say, oh, I went to Mexico, I went there and that, none of that was true. I was far away from my house. I lived off Cotero all the way to the south side, on Valencia. That's Valencia and 12th, that's a far distance. You know what I'm saying? For me to do that shows you what type of resources I had. I mean, to be able to get away, standing my trial, get away from shooting that fast and be hit out and going from one spot to one spot the way we did it was just how you do it, And I'm not saying that to say it proud, but it gave me enough time to think. And I never gave a statement, guys, about this case. And all of that is what bugs me. This individual got to go over there. He met up with the DA several times and lied. When you look at my police report, the female witness gave 3 different stories of why it happened. He even admits that he wanted to fight me, and said that I carry a gun everywhere I go, and that I'm a dangerous person, and I thought I was going to kill him. And he embellished it. Again, he embellished it because he was scared for his life too. Though I've never seen someone become so terrified. Just stop getting flipped real quick. I mean, it's not fun to get shot, and I don't promote it. But at the end of the day, he posed a threat to me. And that's how I took it, and that's how I reacted. And the part of it, like I said, that I do take fault in that I shouldn't have been put in that situation. I shouldn't have been dealing with a person in my home trying to offer them help. But that's what happens when you're over there lonely and you're going through your own shit, man. You open your doors up to the people that fucking probably don't deserve it, and the first ones to fucking backstab you. I mean, how many people could say I helped a dude get off the streets because he was homeless, right? And have to shoot him 5 days later. Now, that's unheard of, that someone would be that ungrateful that they wanted to push an agenda. They wanted to create a fight. They wanted to be that dude to try to, they wanted to test that limit, and it's unfortunate. I've never been one of those dudes that I can read a person who's with and who's not, and if it doesn't involve me, then I don't need to be there. I don't need to be around them. If there's nothing that we're doing business-wise, I stay away. I know there's only one thing that can happen. We're going to be shooting at each other. You know, and now here I am facing this case, and the unfortunate thing, right, is I wanted to fight this case, and I thought I was playing tooth and nail to the attorneys, right? I'm like, man, I don't want to admit shit, you know, and basically because of 2 new cases that I caught when I was out on bail, you know, they offered me 2 to 4 years with only one victim, not even the other victim. You know, this time they gave me more time than what they offered, and they gave me time for each victim. You know, just all because they had those 2 other cases, and I asked, I said, look, I'll plead guilty to these drug cases because you know I'm guilty. You know, and you know they offered me time off and all kinds of shit, man, and everything, right? But like I said, I'm not gonna fucking ever push any issue that I've done or anything that I've done on the next person. You know what I'm saying? Never gonna be that person. This isn't personal. I decided to do the things I gotta do. That's why I'm riding this time. Because I could have been done get out the first time, the second time they arrested me. But that's just not the direction I'm gonna do. You know, every choice I made was a choice I decided to make. Therefore, I have to be willing to do that time, and I'm willing to do that time on all levels. And it's just a fucked up way, though, that you know, I didn't break away from the things I was doing completely. I'd have off and on sobriety, and that no shit's no joke, man. And you know, I was I guess a dope pusher user. I had a dope man habit. You know, I could have whatever I want. You know, had all kinds of boosters items, all kinds of shit, fucking, you know, every kind of fucking strap you could think of. You know what I'm saying? And when I got out, I should talk about that. I got locked up a year later, and when I got locked up, I told everybody I was on vacation. You guys knew what I was talking about. But I got caught with 6,500 pills. I think about maybe, I don't know how much, not that much meth, but a little bit of meth, right? And I had 13,000 on me. Over 13,000. They basically robbed me for 9,000 out of that. They reported 4,300. 6,500 pills. So I get locked up, and you gotta remember, I'm not on parole or probation or nothing. You know what I'm saying? And I'm out on bail in another case, but they're not really seeing that. There was a cross between some DAs, I guess, like glitch, because this is what I found out sentencing, that they didn't mean to let me out, right? Which I think they did, because a week later they put out a felony warrant, and the whole time that I was on a felony warrant, there were undercovers that were watching me. When I got on, it was 2 cops, regular cop cars, with 12 undercover cars behind it. You know, I had like a circus. It was like you know, when they have the parades and all that. I had that many cops behind me, and I pulled over and stuff. You know, and I thought it was for some other reasons because my car had been stolen not that long ago. You know, and so I got it back. You know, it was reported and found. You know, and I thought maybe it was still in the system. Like, because there was no reason to pull me over. They said it was for swerving. I was swerving all over the place, right? They said that they seen a straw, half a straw, and that was a justification for searching the vehicle. I never seen the discovery footage, but apparently my lawyer said that they did see a straw, and that's justification to search the vehicle. And you know, every alleged material that was in there, it was all in a lockbox, you know, in the car that you can pretty much open if necessary. And then the second time, they put a warrant out for me, and the thing is, man, and this is the honest truth. Now, whatever I was doing, right, and I've been doing it a little too long. It was a wake-up call, you know, now having 2 cases. I was like, man, I got to break away from the things I'm doing, but I got to break away clean. So I was getting rid of a lot of things, and some of the things I had to settle and doing this and doing that, right? And I'm not going to go into details, but anybody that's been doing anything on any level, and I never do anything on any small level. I mean, think about it. Getting caught with 6,500 fentanyl pills and, you know, getting out like a week later and still getting found with, you know, another couple thousand and then more meth on me. You know, I'm always moving, you know, but this was me trying to clean up shit. I wasn't trying to go out there and get back into doing what I was doing. I was trying to put myself in a situation to my side of the street clean, which I was able to do, but unfortunately I caught a second case. And that they used against me. And I'm telling the attorneys, like, look, I don't care about the drug cases. If you want to give me 5 years and give me 10 years on it, I'll take that. I'm not tripping. I'm guilty because I also had someone else with me the second time, and I wasn't going to let them go down for my shit. You know what I'm saying? It just, you can't do that. You got to man up for your shit. You know, people don't realize that they think that people are ready to fucking flip and do this and that just off anything. No, that comes when it becomes a personal problem. All I gathered from most people was a lot of love out here. You know what I'm saying? And from a few that I fucked with, my circle was very, very tight. And I don't promote that, guys. Don't get me wrong, but just things develop that way, you know. And it just makes me question, like, when I'm like, you know, I reflect back on all the choices and decisions that I made in that process, man, and it's like I seen everything coming, you know, and I wasn't taking none of that time. The 2 to 4 guys, I wasn't going to take that. I was either going to beat that in the case, or I was going to take myself out. That's the truth of it. So when people say, you're going back doing time, you're doing time, I wasn't going to do that. I was like, either I'm beating this case, or I'm taking myself out. That was my plan. You know what I'm saying? The whole time I was out, until I got caught up. You know, getting caught up, and then finally, and you know, when I got caught up the first time, I found out I was going to be a granddaddy and all this stuff, and, you know, affected on everybody else. And, you know, talked to the wife at that time. It was real uplifting at that time, you know, and, you know, I think if I would have got locked up and reached out and just talked to people and been uplifted, you know, it would have been a really easy time for me just to take myself out, because you get tired of it, man. And I was at that point tired of everything. Just tired of fucking trying to help people out and do good and do right, and just tired of motherfuckers just being fake, man. I don't like fake. And that's how the world is. Fake's the new real, man. You know, and you know, here I am doing what I'm doing, and I take accountability. I got to do some time. You know what I'm saying? You know, but it didn't have to be that way, man. And just it's a learning experience, man. You know, everything's changing. You know what I'm saying? Like back in my day, I've been attacked, I've been shot, I've been all that, man. You know, and that becomes personal. You know, I didn't. You know, it was crazy because the one of the victims, he's in prison now, Duke Casper. He's in Red Rock, but the spot I'm in now, that I came in when I came out the hole. For about 5-6 months, he was over here, like kind of like holding a tier security kind of position over here, fucking checking paperwork and doing all kinds of shit, knowing damn well he was meeting in the back fucking with the TAs, which is crazy. But that's just how it is nowadays, man. Nobody cares about nothing. They're all for themselves, man. And if anything, if you're listening to this, anybody out there, man, like, look, if you get down into that part and you feel alone, man, reach out to somebody. I mean, look, you can reach out to me, man, and I'm here, you know, because you know what? There was really no one there. There was a lot of people who were false there, but a lot of people were more worried about all the drama. You know what I'm saying? Or how to involve me in it, or how to get. I mean, yeah, people trying to send me shit just what people say, or this, do that. Just what the fuck? Why are you sending me this? Why don't you go talk shit to that person instead of sending that to me? You know, and you know, if you're going through some shit, man, you know, look for people to help you out, man. Don't let your pride get in the way, because you know I'm too strong-headed so that I can take care of anything thrown at me at any time. And I don't regret, you know, I don't regret fucking this dude. You know what I mean? I regret that the female got hit by accident, but that's just casual damage. I don't regret what happened, because you know what? He put himself in that position. He wanted to fucking rock the rock. He wanted to sit there and push that line. He wanted to sit there and reach my security, and that's what you did. Sit down real quick. You know what I'm saying? Go have surgery on your fucking nutsack. That's your problem. You brought that on you. I didn't ask for it. And that's why I still remember sitting there crying to me, saying you're sorry. That's what I don't understand. You know, when someone knows that they're wrong, right, at the moment, but now they have such a vendetta that, okay, now they're going to embellish it, then now they're going to lie, now they're going to tell all this other stuff, you know what I'm saying? Which, they don't tell the truth. You know, it's just unfortunate that things end that way, man. And like I said, I'm going to pray for him anyways. Doesn't mean I don't have any feelings. It doesn't mean I would act any different. And that's the thing is I would do the same thing, put in the same situation, because you know what? I never know what they may have done to me. And that's just the truth. And it's unfortunate. If anything, take from this. If you're ever in a place or situation in your home starts to be uncomfortable, clear it out. Make your home that's your safe place. Don't ever let no one come in and impose on your peace, you know? And if you go into a situation where you don't feel safe and it's not right, you got a friend that's with you and it's just not, no. Stand your ground and do what you got to do, and don't become a victim to someone else, whatever someone else is pursuing. Because a lot of times, you know, the person that you're with, maybe they're there to get higher or whatnot. You don't know what it may be. But maybe it's not in your best interest to be there. With that said, man, there's a lot going on that happened with this case, man. Like I said, it had nothing to do with a lot of people were chasing views. You know what I'm saying? And you know, people will bend over just to get a view. You know what I'm saying? Literally. and they'll lie about anything, and they'll say any story. There was times people asked me information at times, and sometimes I would deter the information on purpose and stuff, just because I knew that they were going to try to spin it negatively. There's only one person that really put it out there the way that it needed to be put out there, and that's Blood on the Razor Wire. That was pretty accurate account. And it's no secret that me and him have had past, associations, and that's a good dude right there as well, Ted Marks. But other than that, man, you know what? I hope people learn, same for my situation. If it helps someone, look, I'm not just trying to help people stay away from the bullshit. I'm trying to have people learn from my mistakes. And see, that's the difference between a lot of people are doing this, but they're not real. Be real, man. If you're doing shit and you're doing that, be real about who you are without exposing yourself, man. Don't try to live up to fictitious characters, man, because some of these fictitious characters were trained to be about the life, but you know what? I was about that life, and I'm about that life still. And I hope to still save lives. I still contribute to society, man. It's just unfortunately that in the belly of the beast, it's not going to be that easy, guys. It's not going to be. I got a lot of challenges, and I'm standing on my own 2 feet when I go in there. I'm not asking for assistance from anybody as far as I'm going in there alone, man. I don't have anybody holding me down. I ain't got nobody doing anything for me, but I'm okay with that. ACP is going to continue. We're going to push content. I got F-Star and Max, they're in contact with all kinds of people, former NF, former Sadasa, former Southside associates that I always have talked to. Some of them never have interviewed, but individuals that I used to have conversations, and they're going to help continue this channel with California interviews. I'm going to focus on getting more shit when I get to Arizona. Live situations, how it really is now. They got a big California car. We'll see how they rock in there. With that said, your boy Flaco from AC.